Now it's time for Toker Talk Radio, the voice of the marijuana nation.
What are you people? On dope?
Where you can toke.
I inhaled frequently.
Or you can talk.
I experimented with marijuana and didn't inhale.
Or you can toke and talk.
10 federal criminal penalties for possession of up to 1 ounce of marijuana.
While we talk about toke on Toker Talk Radio.
So, by the way, when it comes to pot, if you're 40 years old, you live in a log cabin in Oregon, you got 12 giant pot plants in your backyard, have a ball.
Live from beautiful Portland, Oregon at Rolla J Studios.
Hey, this is great. Just not cannabis.
Plus your calls live at 971-533-7111.
They're walking on their pants with their cap on backwards, listening to Enema Man and Snoopy Poop Dog.
What's to keep somebody from getting all potted up on weed and then getting behind the wheel? Gateway theory doesn't work. It's a reality.
Holland, is it real? Don't tease me.
We're locking up people that take a couple of puffs of marijuana, and the next thing you know, they got 10 years.
And now, here's your host, the guru of ganja graphics, the sultan of sativa statistics, and the worst nightmare of a reefer mad prohibitionist. A polite, perspicacious, productive pothead with a propensity for PowerPoint. Radical Russ Belville.
All right, welcome everybody. It's Toker Talk Radio, Hour 2 of the Russ Belville Show. We're going to go out live to the Fresh Buds Dispensary here in just a second. Getting things warmed up for what is now the final 8 hours of prohibition in the state of Oregon. That's right, the final 8 hours of marijuana prohibition. And we are going to be up at the Burnside Bridge tonight. Before that, 9 o'clock tonight, I'm going to be speaking to a reporter from Vice, the HBO series. They're going to be flying out there, and they're going to be meeting me. Hello, we're trying to reach Pork Chop at the Fresh Buds Dispensary. Is Pork Chop there?
Yeah, hold on one second.
All right, so I'll be speaking to Vice at 9 o'clock, and then 10 o'clock on the Who's the Ross program at Dante's downtown. $3 cover. Hey, Pork Chop, how you doing, man?
Hey, you won't believe what's going on over here at Fresh Buds right now.
Tell us all about it.
Oh, if you come in right now and say you're going to be up on the bridge, you get a free joint after you spend $50. And you'll get the first joint that we're giving out up on the bridge.
That's awesome. That's, of course, Fresh Buds Dispensary is an Oregon medical marijuana dispensary, so you have to be a medical marijuana patient. But, yeah, go ahead.
We would welcome any veterans to come down here and make a run through. We got a free joint for them right now. Come on.
All right.
If they purchase a nice $20 gram from us.
Very good, very good. So
or
the folks,
$20 or $25 eighths.
Oh, fantastic! 25 and 8.
Premium bud, premium smoking delicious fresh bud.
That sounds great. Now you've got the drum circles meeting there over by Fresh Buds on the Hawthorne Bridge, and then you're making your way to the stroke of midnight on the Burnside, right?
Yeah, but you won't believe what just happened to me, Russ. We've had 27 medical marijuana shops that is going to meet me underneath the bridge. I'm doing a shout out right now to anyone that wants to donate medicine. I will be the one donating that medicine along with my pounds of weed that we're bringing to the table. I'm calling out. I want to see 1,000 pounds out there, and I hear it might be showing up on the bridge tonight.
Now remember, we got to have one card holder for every pound and a half.
Oh, we got 6 card holders for every half pound.
There we go. All right, then we'll be in good shape.
We have the Veterans Program right now, and we have up to 1,700 veterans on our program right now.
Oh,
and
boy.
This is the veterans weed that they're donating to the United States.
That's awesome. That's what we're doing here. We're freeing the weed.
That's what we're doing here. We're donating the veterans extras. This is what they got, extra medicine. They don't want to sell their medicine. They want to give it out.
Yeah. And that's how we're going to fight the black market and fight people going to Vancouver, Washington. Let's keep that Oregon money here in Oregon.
Oh, we want to keep the organ money here, but also I want to put a message to Mr. President, and let's step it up and let's end prohibition.
Yeah, let's end prohibition nationwide, man. Pork Chop, you're doing an amazing job out there getting people riled up and ready to go for tonight. It's going to be an awesome occasion. Thanks so much for being a part of it.
I heard that the Rainbow family all over the world called green light to meet me on the bridge tonight.
Oh.
I wonder. And then I heard this birdie that... Where's this 420 pounds coming from? Well, I heard it might show up in the air, or it might be coming in a boat, or you know what? The veterans might be bringing it.
Paratroopers. Send them by paratrooper.
Well, I'm hearing something about the little birdies flying up around, down around where you're at. Where you at down there? Because Dante's down there at Dante's, are you?
Yeah, we'll be down at Dante's later tonight. Yeah, 3rd and West Burnside.
Yeah, about 9 o'clock you're live, right?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? I'll be there about 8 o'clock, and, you know, I've had a long day, so I need a cold beer with you, and I'll meet you there then, Russ.
All right.
Pork Chop. Hey, I just want to say one more thing out there. The DEA, fuck off. Anybody else, peace and love. See you on the bridge. Peace.
All right, we'll see you.
Countdown. How many hours we got left?
We got less than 8 hours now.
Oh, my God. You know what? I'm only halfway done. We're just rocking. Get down here to Fresh Bud. Get over to Neck Thirst. Get over to Urban Pharmacy 40 on 420 60th and Gleason. July 1st at 420. We're going to be rocking 110 Southeast Main Street. It's Fresh Bud. Come on down. Let's rock and roll and start this party now.
All right, 110 Southeast Main Street.
Love you.
Thank you, Pork Chop. Pork Chop Projects, helping the veterans out there, supporting medical marijuana and recreational legalization. It's going to be huge, folks. You know, we're anticipating media trucks, maybe even national media trucks out there. And we'll just see how the Portland Police Bureau reacts to it. They're generally pretty friendly, good guys, and I think they can understand tonight is kind of a special occasion for a whole lot of us. And we won't make a habit of it. We're just going to get out there and celebrate freedom, and then we'll just go back to fighting for better laws, better regulations, better treatment by our employers, by our schools, by everyone out there.
Continue the conversation with Radical Russ online. Visit radicalruss.com and email radicalruss@gmail.com.
Hashtag for tonight's event is Burnside Burn. Hashtag Burnside Burn. You can follow me at Radical Russ. Follow at RB Show 420 if you want to get the updates when the live stream goes up with a handy link to get to it. Or if you're good at the URLs, it's ustream.tv/channel/ I don't think it is /Radical Russ on the RB Live. I think it's, I'll look it up and I'll tell you. So much happening, folks. You can't even begin to believe it. We'll be back right after this.
.420 Radio, freeing your mind 24 hours a day.
Hey, this is Willie Nelson for Normal. And I smoke pot and I like it a lot. I learned a long time ago that marijuana is a lot safer than alcohol. There's nothing wrong with the responsible use of marijuana by adults. It's time we stopped arresting and started respecting those who smoke marijuana responsibly. To learn what you can do to help, contact Normal at NORML.org or call toll-free 888-67-NORMAL.
Hey, I'm Herb Thrasher, host of the Herb Thrasher Flower Hour, live every Friday night at 8 Pacific. Tune in for 2 hours of metal marijuana mayhem featuring exclusive interviews with the latest bands, highlights of live shows, and the latest in marijuana news. It's the Herb Thrasher Flower Hour, Friday nights at 8 p.m. at 420 Radio, or catch the replay on Saturday nights.
420 Radio is brought to you by Sacred Serum, who is focused on creating elegant and sophisticated cannabis solutions through its line of dispensers and vaporizers that come preloaded with the world's finest cannabis concentrate. Sacred Serum's concentrate is made on pharmaceutical-grade supercritical CO2 extraction machines that use absolutely no butane or other toxic chemicals. The Vesica, the company's innovative new way to dab and frost, is now available in dispensaries across California. Sacred Serum, elegance and sophistication concentrated.
Now, I'm not going to ask you again, what did you smoke? I'm not telling you, I won't. I'm not going to ask you again now, what did you smoke? Tell me now. All right. I smoked herbs.
Well, if you smoke herbs in Oregon as of midnight tonight, it's perfectly legal. That's Ben Bass with I Smoke Herbs. Stay tuned. Coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll take our 420 break, and we've got our daily Toker tune for Electric Tuesday coming up. We got Electric Bob calling in from Arizona, where I'm sure it's hotter than it is here. Although we're approaching 90 here in Portland. It's going to be a nice night. Coming up at half past, we're calling into the Mernahuana Zone, show up in Canada on Pot TV with Matt Murnau. Let them know what's happening here in Oregon. And what is happening here in Oregon is at about 9 o'clock, I'm going to be out at Dante's. Now, Dante's is this bar right on downtown Burnside Avenue there, where it's got little flaming torches outside of it. It's kind of like a hell theme, Satan theme, red lights and all that. And around the other side of it is where that big black wall with the yellow letters, Keep Portland Weird, that's where that's at, okay? So it's, iconic place in Portland, Dante's, and it's only like a block away from the downtown Voodoo Donuts. And I think Voodoo Donuts is getting involved in this tonight, too. So, anyway, 9 o'clock, meeting a reporter from Vice, the HBO network, the documentary network. Love Vice. If you haven't seen it, check it out on HBO Go or wherever you can catch it, because it's amazing. And so I'm meeting him there at 9 o'clock, and then at 10 o'clock, I'm a guest on Who's the Ross? Now, you may remember, like if you've been listening to the show for a long time, that I've done many appearances on a show called The Ed Foreman Show. Remember The Ed Foreman Show? Ed Foreman, kind of a schlocky 70s character that hosts a talk show, right? And we're talking a live talk show in a bar. It's like a live, like a Conan or a Jimmy Fallon or whatever. It's got a band. It's just a 3-piece band, but it's an amazing 3-piece band. They're called Them, the Band. Not to be accused with Them, which was the band that originally did Gloria, Gloria, Gloria. Little trivia for you. Anyway, so they're going to be putting on their show. They're doing their, legalization show. And I've been a guest on his show back in the days when it was the Ed Foreman Show. Well, about the past year, maybe longer, the guy who plays Ed Foreman, his name's Aaron Ross, has grown tired of doing the character, right? Kind of like Stephen Colbert got tired of being a character all the time. So he's changed his show to be Who's the Ross with Aaron Ross. And he's, playing it straight now. So I've been guest on his show for years now. And every time we go, I'm a guy talking about, well, when's it going to be legal? When's it going to be legal? So finally tonight, I get to play I Told You So on the Aaron Ross Show and say, I told you it's going to be legal. I told you. Now, the nice thing is when I complete that, we're 3 blocks away from the Burnside Bridge, which is where, of course, the big giveaway is going to be happening. Now, I'm kind of wary about this because, I'm going to be going into Dante's at 10 o'clock at night and then coming out an hour and a half later to what may be this huge gathering on the Burnside Bridge. So we'll see how that turns out. I saw Doug McVeigh today at the press conference, and he said, I might be there later tonight to get some coverage of your riot. And I said, riot? What do you mean? He goes, you're saying you're going to give free weed away? Yeah. At midnight? Yeah. On the bridge? Yeah. Where the homeless shelter is? Yeah. And he said, yeah, riot. And I go, no, I think there'll be a big crowd. I don't think there'll be a riot. Besides, everybody knows I can only bring an ounce. Medical marijuana patients can bring 1.5 pounds. Talk to them. They'll give you some free weed. So, yeah, we will see how... and this really, folks, I had no intention of this being, super huge. My whole point was I want to go get a selfie underneath the Portland, Oregon sign at midnight. And the more we started talking about it, the more people wanted to say, that's a great idea. We'll be there. And now it's turned into this big, huge thing. So It's going to be very interesting. But, I was at the moment legalization happened in Washington, up at the Space Needle in Seattle. There was a small gathering of people, and it was cool. Everything was fine. So I think that'll be all right. I think we'll be fine. Pot people are friendly people. And I'm not the one giving a whole bunch of weed away anyway. So we'll see what happens. But coming up tomorrow, the calendar is also full. I've got an 8 a.m. Check with the Huffington Post, doing a call-in check for my appearance on HuffPost Live tomorrow at 11 Pacific, discussing legalization. So that'll be fun. And I'll post the link, and you can listen to it if you like there too. Stony Girl Gardens is doing a giveaway from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. in Clackamas. After the HuffPost Live thing, I might try to drive down there and get some footage of what's going on. Then we'll do our live show, and I'll give you reports from what happened with HuffPost Live and so forth. Then tomorrow night at 9 p.m., the Clinton Street Theater is doing a screening of Ron Mann's 1999 documentary, Grass, the one that's not narrated by Woody Harrelson. So it'll be really cool on the first night that marijuana is legal that people can watch how marijuana became illegal and learn about all of the war on drugs. And it's going to be great as time moves on. These films about how draconian the war on drugs was are going to become, just amazing bits of history for future generations to marvel at. When you get to that age where you learn that all American history wasn't the way they portrayed it with the Pilgrims and the Indians, or how, slavery was bad, but we did away with that. But then you get to this age where you recognize, holy shit, the Trail of Tears, we did what? Japanese internment camps, we did what? You start, what? Slave ships and what? You start to learn some of the nasty underbelly of American history. And not to say that the war on drugs was as bad as slavery or the Trail of Tears or Japanese internment, but to a large degree, it was as devastating to the people, some of the people that it affected. Some of the people were put into, terrible circumstances. Some people were killed over this war on drugs. And this will go into those files along with those shocking mementos of yesteryear that a future generation will look at and go, wait a minute, hold on. You used to use the cops to try to stop people from growing and smoking cannabis. Really? It'll be inconceivable to the future generations. You did what? Why would someone do that? And not just for the cruelty of locking someone up over their personal choice of what herb to consume, but the crime against humanity it is to have banned our society from all of the possible uses of hemp and to have shorted the patients some of the best medicine that can be used for so many variety of conditions. In that respect, this war on marijuana has 3 components of it that are shocking and will be unbelievable to the future generations. It's almost hard to conceive of which one would be more inconceivable to them. I vote for the industrial hemp one. We're going to have to explain that to a future generation. Yeah, see, we had to make those hemp plants that aren't drug, those ones that, like, if you smoke them, you just get a headache. We had to make those illegal because we were so afraid of the ones they're related to. That's how powerful the scaremongering and fearmongering over marijuana has been, that we had to ban something that looked like it. It was so scary. It'd be like banning powdered sugar because it looks like cocaine. Oh my God, the kids might mistake powdered sugar for cocaine. We must ban it. Lock people up. Only granulated sugar from now on, damn it. It's just, I'm just over the moon. I'm just giddy with anticipation of this night. And, to an extent, nothing much changes. I mean, you've seen me down here smoking weed. I've had plenty of weed here in the house. I've smoked weed in lots of places around Oregon with a medical card, without a medical card. It's never been too much of an issue, but it could have been. Any moment could have turned into a ticket, loss of a driver's license. Any moment of a number of times in my life could have turned into misdemeanor charges, criminal charges, fines, classes one has to go to, probation, parole, checking in, piss testing, abstinence. Those were always all on the table, no matter how low the risk was. They were always on the table in the back of your mind. This could happen to me if I'm not careful. Well, no longer.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
Oh my goodness, we are less than 8 hours away from the end of my criminality in this state, and about 300,000 other people. It's our last 420 as outlaws, so let's do it. Thanks everybody for your support. I'm going to take a break. We'll be right back with Electric Tuesday coming up next.
.420 Radio, your ticket to Seattle Hemp Fest. Oregon has joined Washington and Colorado in legalizing marijuana. We're Portland NORML, the national organization for the reform of marijuana laws chapter in Portland, Oregon. Join us as we celebrate the launch of an exciting new era in marijuana freedom in Oregon. Our job has just begun. Powerful interests want to white out the most important portions of Oregon's legalization law. By joining Portland NORML, you add your voice to the thousands who voted for Measure 91 and want it to be implemented as written. The people have spoken. Now it is time for the legislature to obey the will of the people. Find out more about Portland NORML at portlandnormal.org. Attend our monthly membership meetings on the fourth Saturday of the month. See our website for more details. Portland NORML, ensuring responsible adult marijuana consumers are afforded the same rights, privileges, and responsibilities as beer drinkers.
Georgia. Hi, this is Willie Nelson. Alcohol prohibition didn't work in the 1920s, and marijuana prohibition isn't working today. It's time we stopped arresting responsible marijuana smokers. It's the fair thing to do.
For more information, contact NORML, the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. Call toll-free 888-67-NORML or visit their website at norml.org.
The Fingerboard Extension has fretted instruments to enhance your creativity. It has new and used guitars and banjos from beginning to high class. The Fingerboard Extension has National Resophonic, Husson Dalton, Larrabee, Heritage and Recording King guitars, and Mike Ramsey, Wildwood, Gold Tone and Recording King banjos. The Fingerboard Extension also has drum stuff, used gear, and parts. Stop by the Fingerboard Extension, downtown Corvallis, Oregon at 120 Northwest 2nd, or check out the inventory on the web at fingerboardextension.com and reverb.com. Get.Buzz. .Buzz is the internet platform that fuels community interest, excitement, and new experiences. .Buzz is the premier online destination for internet users seeking the latest news on a variety of topics. .Buzz appeals to groups active in blogging, communications, journalism, advertising, and marketing. .Buzz offers registrants a stronger alternative to the shrinking namespace of existing top-level domain names, such as .com, .net, and .org. Get your name now at get.buzz.
Everyone knows music and marijuana go together, so let's wind up our 20 after break with the Russ Belville Show's Daily Toker Tunes, the best in pod-safe 420 music from around the web. Today is Electric Tuesday, featuring the latest in electronic dance music and other cutting-edge genres. Now, sit back and enjoy your Daily Toker Tune.
All right, it's Electric Tuesday, our last Electric Tuesday under Prohibition. We got Electric Bob here to celebrate with us. How you doing, Bob?
It's your last Electric Tuesday under Prohibition, but congratulations, Russ. You've done hard work, and you deserve it, man.
Oh, man, now you bummed me out. I feel bad for the people of Arizona.
Yeah, because, well, I got a card, but I still know people who've stuffed the weed down their pants because they're scared of getting pulled over since the felony here.
Yeah, it's bad news in Arizona and a lot of other places around this country. And I hope what happens is as we legalize here in Oregon and the sky doesn't fall, more and more states legalize. These other states will just go, you know what? What are we afraid of? What's the problem here?
Exactly. Well, we MPP, I've heard they're forecasting more than enough signatures to get the initiative on the ballot. And then 2016, I'm voting on, because there's two initiatives going on. MPP is going to get theirs passed, or get theirs on the ballot. I don't know about the other one, but if they're both on there, I'm voting on both.
Yeah. Why not just vote on both of them, and we'll see what happens. I know the MPP one and this other one, they differ slightly. I guess the second one's a little more liberal as far as its allowances.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't care. As long as I can grow and not have to worry about cops busting down my door and shooting my dog.
There you go. That's exactly the right attitude. A lot of times people try to think about the legalization they want versus the legalization on the ballot instead of thinking of the prohibition they have versus what's on the ballot, man. And
yeah, even with my card, I can't grow. So
yeah, that does suck. Arizona's now, I think the MPP one, if I remember correctly, also has one of these halo rules in it. I'm not so sure, but maybe that's the difference between the two.
I have no clue. But the song, this is it's a remix of the do you know Half Pint, the reggae singer? It's a remix of his 1986 song Greetings. It was done in 1994, and it's a drum and bass, jungle, really atmospheric, soulful tune.
All right. Well, let's get to it. This is Half Pint with Greetings, and you got Electric Bob Boogaloo or a replay coming up tonight?
It's a new one. It's not my mix. It's a DJ Slipmat. It's from a 1994 rave. It's one of his best mixes. One of my favorite mixes by him. It's him at Edge 3. It was January of '94 or something, if I remember correctly.
Right on.
That the mix was done. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll check that out tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific time. Electric Bob's Boogaloo also replayed at, I think, midnight on the weekends. So check that out. And this is our daily Toker tune for the day. Half Pint with a remix of Greetings. Thanks so much, Bob. And keep fighting for legalization.
Oh, I am. You take it easy, Russ.
Larger than large. Put a smile on your face and brighten up the place. Fresh in the mix and we do it like this. Junglers, larger than large. I will give, help you cross the bridge. Greetings I bring from Jah to all ragamuffins. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee. Greetings I bring from Jah to all junglers massive. Ooh-wee, all of the diamonds and the money and pearls. I hope you reggae music playing around the world. No matter what the price, jungle music is nice. Oh, the little sister never rock her tonight. Whoa, whoa, greetings I bring from Jabotia to all junglist crew and ragamuffin too. Whoa, whoa, greetings I bring from Jabotia to all ragamuffins. I hope it take the mind and the soul in control. And most of all, it should never grow old. It's the only music that rock them soul. And most of all, to let the good time grow. Greetings I bring from Jah to all junglist massive. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee. Greetings I bring from Jabotia to all ragamuffins. Ooh-wee, the go.
.420 Radio, your ticket to the High Times Cannabis Cups. This is Radical Russ encouraging you to take a look at the Weed Blog every day. Johnny Green and the staff at the Weed Blog are on top of all the latest developments in the fight to end marijuana prohibition nationwide. You can even get the Weed Blog on your smartphone by installing the Weed Blog app for iPhone and Android. If it's about weed, it's on the Weed Blog, including my original writing. So don't delay, read the Weed Blog today. Growing plants indoors can be a rewarding hobby, but electricity bills can go through the roof. Then you have to cool down all those big hot lights. It can drive a grower insane. With Lush LED lighting, you can solve many of these issues and double your rewards. Matt and his scientists have developed the perfect light for flowering plants with far less cost and heat. And the results? Very effective. Check out LushLEDlighting.com right now and tell them Radical Russ sent you.
Hey, I'm Herb Thrasher, host of the Herb Thrasher Flower Hour live every Friday night at 8 Pacific. Tune in for 2 hours of metal marijuana mayhem featuring exclusive interviews with the latest bands, highlights of live shows, and the latest in marijuana news. It's the Herb Thrasher Flower Hour Friday nights at 8 p.m. at 420 Radio or catch the replay on Saturday nights.
Hey everybody, it's Radical Russ here from 420 Radio, inviting you to be like me and get your ink done at Lucky Horseshoe Tattoo, Fort Worth's most female-friendly, clean, sterile, awesome tattoo shop. Thomas and his crew are true artists who can design you a custom piece or use a design you bring in. Lucky Horseshoe Tattoo also offers all styles of tattooing as well as piercings and all-around fun. In the DFW area, stop by Lucky Horseshoe Tattoo and tell them Radical Russ sent you. Trust me, it'll feel awesome.
I feel like my game is over. That's Darling of the Dead with THC Dreaming. I'm Radical Russ, coming to you live from beautiful Rolla J Studios in Portland, Oregon, where we have less than 7.5 hours left in marijuana prohibition. I'd like to dedicate today to Kevin Sabet, to Scott Gagnon, to Patrick Kennedy, to Bill Bennett, to all the former drug czars. I'd like to also dedicate this day to the ghost of Harry J. Anslinger, from whom all of those abominations have spawned. And I just want to thank them. I really do. I want to thank them for giving me enemies to fight, for articulating the hate and bigotry against cannabis consumers all these years that has finally caused the American people to wake up and end marijuana prohibition bit by bit, city by city, county by county, state by state, medical, decrim, CBD, whatever it might be. Louisiana has joined the ranks of medical marijuana states, of all places. Louisiana. Yeah, it's not the kind of medical marijuana we'd approve of. It's all that, no smokable plant, just oils and that kind of pills kind of thing, right? But that's a southern state. Ending criminal penalty for people using a derivative of marijuana. That's progress. And also, Bobby Jindal signed that law that reduces some of the penalties for first and second time offenders who are caught with recreational cannabis. That's a start. In fact, if you look at a map of the United States of America and you overlay it with all the states that are legal, 4 of us, all the states that are medical, traditional medical, 24 or 5, depending on how we're going to define it, all the states that are CBD only, now about 15 of them, all the states that have marijuana decriminalization, there's 19 or 20. And there's some overlap. Some of those states have more than one of those things. But when you put that map together, there remain only 9 states in the United States. Only 9 states where all marijuana in any form by anybody is completely illegal. There's only 9 left. We call these the red states or the prohibition states. They include the Intermountain states of Idaho and Wyoming, the Great Plains states of North and South Dakota, Nebraska and Kansas, the southern state of Arkansas, the Rust Belt states of Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania. Those are it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 of, pardon me, it's 11 states. 11 states that remain that have no form of leniency for any kind of marijuana. And they are starting to fall too. Pennsylvania. They've just submitted another bill, and it would be that New York, Minnesota, Louisiana style medical marijuana, just medical cannabinoids, nothing smokable, no actual plant. Just extracts. But that would bring Pennsylvania into the list. Ohio will likely be voting on marijuana legalization and medical marijuana contained in the same law. First state to legalize both at the same time. That could happen this November. Now, the rest of the states, I don't know. It's looking bleak. I think Arkansas has a chance. But they've voted down medical marijuana the last chance they got. Kansas, Nebraska, North and South Dakota, Idaho, and Wyoming. Idaho is the only state to have vetoed a CBD bill. CBD only, and that was too much of a slippery slope. Helping epileptic kids with something that doesn't get anyone high and nobody would ever smoke and would have to be imported from out of state. Well, that was too much of a risk for Governor Butch Otter. Had to veto that, had to condemn these kids to either, risking the death with the next seizure or forcing their parents to move them out of Idaho. That's what I did. I got the hell out of Idaho. Why the hell would I want to stick around there? So, this is it. And like I said, functionally, there may not be much difference to my life with legalization. My use of marijuana has been pretty well known. Any federal or state or local cops that wanted to bust me always could. But I'm glad that this has happened and that I actually had that experience in Utah. Getting busted, being on the side of the road, watching the cops go through your belongings and just tearing through your belongings with dogs while you sit in handcuffs on the side of the road. Having to sit in the back of a cop car on the longest possible ride you can take in a cop car in Utah, by the way. Back hurting, wrist hurting. To be put in that concrete room with the plexiglass window. Nowhere to go, no way to get out. And to have to be processed like a piece of inventory by the cops to get a name and social security number and thumbprints and pictures and searches. That all ends. And for people that, want to fight against whatever legalization might be coming their way because it's not perfect. Look, our Oregon one's not perfect either. There's things I don't like about it. There's no way I'd ever say no to it.
Got out the East Coast. They're picking up all over, so
everywhere in Ontario.
It's a bit sad that we're so ahead in other ways that they just can't get with it.
But that's what, when it comes to legalization, it's not perfect yet out of the gate.
Right.
Out of the box,
They
it's not
still have to
perfect.
fight for
Just
more.
like something when you install it on your computer.
All right, we're going to be going live with the Mernahuana Zone. We're just connected to their Vapor Central in Toronto. About to go on the air.
Hey, Russ, how are you?
Hey, we're doing fantastic. How are you guys?
You're like 5 hours away, I guess, from legalization in your state.
The countdown now is at 7 hours and 19 minutes.
7 hours, 19 minutes. I'm glad you got a ticker there going, I see.
Oh, yeah. We got to have absolute accuracy here. They put a leap second in on us today. Those bastards had to stretch prohibition out one more damn second.
I saw that. One more second before you guys get full on, boom, we're legal. And we had you on the show the night pot became legal in your state. It was great to have you on there, and you were working your ass off. You seem a lot happier tonight. A lot happier.
It's a great day.
It is a great day. I feel excited for you. That's how excited we feel. There was some cheers in the lounge for you. Let's hear it. How many people want to hear it for Oregon? Give it up for Oregon's legalization one more time, all right? Yeah, congratulations, Oregon.
Thank you, my Canadian friends.
And the best thing is, just so you know, you've touched our hearts, Oregon. You've legalized on Canada's birthday.
Hey.
On purpose?
Why not legalize on Canada Day? Why not?
It's called Cannabis Day up here.
That's the way it works. I love it. Yeah, we're excited. Our legalization happens July 1st, but we don't have anywhere to buy it yet. There's a bill they're going to pass. Looks like it's going to pass. It'll let us shop in the dispensaries on October 1st. So we're going to have to go 3 months trying to, make do with, I don't know, the weed fairy, Immaculate Conception. I don't know how this works.
Okay, so in 2003, we had that weed fairy issue here in Canada, too. Imagine she does appear, believe it or not, and your friends have it. One of the things in the law was that you can give marijuana away, correct?
Absolutely. Any adult may exchange up to 1 ounce of marijuana, up to 16 ounces of edibles, up to 72 ounces of liquids with any other adult for no consideration, which means no buying, no selling, no trading, no bartering, no promising. You just have to give it away. So we are going to tonight at midnight.
That's what we hear. Now, I can't trade, say, my cannabis cola drink with someone else's weed. I can't be like, hey, I want that, bud. Here's a cannabis
There's
drink.
no bartering?
There's no bartering.
But you can say, hey, here's a free, absolutely for no consideration cannabis drink. And the other person can say, why, thank you. And here is a free, absolutely for no consideration bud. Just as long as you're not trading them for each other.
Oh,
got it?
Yeah, I love you guys. I love it. Okay, question number 2 then. Are you going to take like a chessboard to a state park and trade weed with random strangers?
Not random strangers. They do have to be adults 21 and over. They just reaffirmed that we're going to keep the part of our law that maintains a felony for distributing marijuana to minors. We did have a senator that said, hey, if we're going to treat it like alcohol, the penalty for getting alcohol for minors is a misdemeanor. But that was a bridge too far for a lot of the legislature. And so, yeah, you got to be real careful. You're not handing it to someone under the age of 21 or, there's a possible felony charge there.
Okay, so check their ID before you give them the cannabis.
Yes.
Infused drink. Okay.
So are fake IDs a common thing?
Or fake IDs?
Because like I must imagine the 18 to 20-year-old bracket is very popular as well.
Yeah, as usual, cannabis consumption everywhere is, very popular from ages about, 16 to 25 is your big, demographic there. So it's problematic when you legalize for 21 and over. You're automatically cutting out, everyone from 18 to 20 who can vote for president, buy a gun, rent a car, but they can't, serve in the army, but they can't, smoke a joint. That's problematic and something we do need to fix in the future. But, the realities of politics was, there was nobody who was going to get 18 passed anywhere. So we had to start with 21. We'll show that it's no big deal, and then people will ease up on it and we'll be able to change the laws further.
Well, that's what we were explaining, that all these laws, now that you've made the big headway, there's still tinkering ahead to be done, correct?
Oh, yeah. I like to say we're moving from legalization to equalization. We're at the point now where the Civil War is over, but we're in the middle of Reconstruction, and we still suffer under Jim Crow laws. We can still be fired from our jobs just because we smoked weed on the weekend and failed a piss test. We can still have our child custody messed with by a vindictive ex because we smoke marijuana. It's still against the law to sell any guns or ammunition to people who are known drug abusers, and that includes marijuana. There are so many ways in which we are still discriminated against that this is just the beginning. But at least now when we're fighting for change, we're fighting for it as citizens rather than criminals.
Right. And that's a big game changer, is that, just having that stress off your back, you've been able to make it much further. The major battle's been won. Now it's just sort of some small fights and things to fix in the years ahead. What about vapor lounges? And we talked about Colorado not having vapor lounges. That could be on their next ballot initiative. Oregon, do you have a place where people can just go and pay $5 at the door and watch maybe a sporting event or a movie and smoke marijuana with their friends that they brought to the venue?
It looks like we're going to have that. It seems that at least within Portland, Multnomah County area, they're pretty progressive and they recognize that, you can't just force people to, smoke in their homes. They're going to want to be social, and it's actually in the public good to provide them a social place to use rather than sneaking off to a corner of the park or, hiding in a back alley. Let's bring it inside. I think what will happen is that it will not be co-located with any sort of alcohol sales. I think there's a concern with mixing the alcohol and marijuana, and it does contribute to greater, DUI possibilities for alcohol drinkers when they do smoke pot. So I don't think anyone wants to combine that right now. But I do think what's moving forward here in Oregon is they're going to recognize the right of places without liquor licenses to be able to have a designated area, particularly if they've already got that for tobacco, to be able to allow cannabis use in those areas at the discretion of the owner, of course.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That would be like a large vapor lounge scene of kookiness. Can you?
Oh yeah, I'm really excited for the possibilities with Oregon, just because we have such. Hello? Having some connection problems?
No, we got you.
Sometimes, yeah.
All right, let me see if I can help that out a little.
Vapor lounges are already such a kooky little place.
Well, like I said, it's unbelievable that it hasn't happened in Colorado. So it's exciting that it's already,
Oregon would be the place to visit if they had places to smoke the weed, because right now, wait until October. There can't be a place to buy it.
Yeah, and another thing that people need to be really careful about is that Oregon legalized, but the federal government didn't. And about it's over 60% of Oregon land is actually federal land. So like national forests. You got to watch out, because if the park ranger busts you with weed, he's going to give you a federal charge. He's not going to give you, he's not going to let you off because the state made it legal. Also, our national park, we have one national park in Oregon. It's the Crater Lake area, which is freaking beautiful. You can't bring your weed there. That's federal parkland. Same deal. You're facing a felony or a misdemeanor for having weed on you. And also consider the tribal casinos. Tribal land, unless the tribes have decided to allow that, is generally anti-cannabis as well. And they have cameras everywhere, especially the parking lots, people. So keep your cannabis out of the casinos, out of the national parks, out of the national forests.
Wow.
Yikes.
It's good to have those lists. I mean, people don't know before they embark on some of these things. They just see a headline, Oregon, legal marijuana.
Right.
And they don't read anything else, and they're there.
Yeah, you get yourself in trouble.
And public consumption is still a ticket. You can still get a Class B violation ticket. It's not a criminal record, but it's like a $150 fine. It can be a pain in the ass. So remember, public consumption is still illegal. That said, man, the Oregon coast is this beautiful expanse, man, that a sunset's just calling for a fire and a joint.
Oh, sounds tasty and delicious out there. And they have some great cannabis. They've always had a history of fine cannabis, and the Northern Lights type stuff has always come out of Oregon. So it's an interesting community. Talk to me about your webcast now. Is it going to be a more weedy webcast starting July 1st, or are you just going to, as is?
No, I think it'll continue as is for the main reason that my show, the Russ Belville Show, is largely focused on the politics and the culture of legalization. And we've only gotten 4 states legalized. There's still 46 yet to go. And that's where the story starts to shift, is these other states. Nevada will be on the ballot in 2016. Ohio may be in 2015. Arizona looks like it's going to be on for 2016. California. And then we have outside shots at Maine, Massachusetts, and maybe even Rhode Island. So that's where the fight shifts. Until we get all 50 states legalized, I don't see my show changing much at all.
Okay. Well, we just vaporized smoking for you then, and all the other. And your stats and information on U.S. politics has been exceedingly spot on, and you are correct. It's hard to keep track of the number of states that the battle is going on. The Ohio battle has been going on for some time now, and they still haven't been able to really make a headway.
Yeah.
What do you think? When's the levee going to break? Do you think, because I would imagine Nevada is going to be a big tourist draw. California has always had the numbers behind it for medical marijuana, but just can't seem to get the ballot initiative going. For some reason, people will boycott it. When do you get the tipping point where your federal government intervenes and says enough is enough?
Well, I think California in 2016, it pretty much is the death knell for marijuana prohibition in the United States. From that point on, it's just a matter of how long does it take for the rest of the states. California's economy, California's politics are so they're so important to the rest of the country. California is like the 8th largest economy in the world if it were its own country. So how it goes changes a lot about how the nation goes. There'll still be some holdouts. I'm looking at a map here that we have of the United States. We've got medical laws, we got decrim laws, we've now got those CBD laws, just CBD only oil for the kids with seizures and such. When you look at that map, there's only 11 states left where there's nothing, where there's no reform whatsoever. And so those 11 states might be holdouts for a while, but keep in mind when alcohol prohibition ended in America in 1933, Mississippi remained a dry state until like the 60s. So it may take some time for all 50 states, but once California goes, they all will go eventually.
Okay, for those 11 states, can we just not go civil war on their ass and drag them into line or something?
A lot of them are the states that are very sparsely populated. Idaho, Wyoming, the Dakotas, North and South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas. And then you've got the Rust Belt states, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. But Ohio and Pennsylvania are likely to flip pretty soon. I think our big fight remains in just those very empty plains kind of states there in the Intermountain West. You know how you have the same situation in Canada, right? Just geographically, that's going to take a while.
So now, question about tonight, because we just got back. How much cannabis is expected to be given away at this thing?
Well, I, as an adult, am only allowed to legally carry an ounce. So that's all I will have on me. But I've encouraged everyone else who's an adult to also bring their ounce. And if they're a medical marijuana patient in Oregon, they're still entitled to carry 1.5 pounds. Yeah. So I've heard of dozens of medical marijuana patients who may be showing up, each with 1.5 pounds. So we'll see.
That's wicked.
We gave out close to 4 pounds this year at 420. And that was our biggest yet. So it is, now that it's legal, you kind of have to play by their rules too. You're like, I agreed to all this. I'll now only just carry an ounce. I used to carry 2.
Well, one good piece about Measure 91 is it also did a lot of depenalization. Twice the amount, up to twice the amount that's legal is still only a ticket. So you could carry up to 2 ounces and just get a ticket. And up to 4 times the amount is just a misdemeanor. So if you want to risk a misdemeanor, you could carry a quarter pound.
No, so there you, as long as you have your fine money in your pocket,
Yeah,
your weed in the other, you're okay.
I guess so.
Take no chances tonight. Just bring an ounce. Now, can that ounce be broken into 28 little buds, like baggies?
Yeah, because as long as you're just free, how much it's broken up to does not matter because you're allowed to possess that much. So it doesn't matter how you've packaged it. Just so long as you're giving it freely with no consideration to other people, that should be fine.
That's amazing.
Mine has been broken up into 45 zigzag length joints.
That's awesome.
Nice. So it's a big marijuana giveaway tonight.
So are you gonna encourage everyone to spark up at the same time so there's a big cloud?
Oh my goodness, I would never encourage anyone to break the law.
Mm-hmm.
It's
right, because you can't smoke it in public.
Public consumption is against the law, and if one were to publicly consume, it might cost them a ticket for which they'd have to contact Portland Normal and see if our lawyer would help pay the price of that.
Yeah.
But I would never encourage anyone to break the law. Goodness, no.
Fine money in one hand, joint in the other.
There you go.
Got my fine money right here, and my joint right here.
There it is. There's my 45 joints.
Nice. Those are well rolled too. Those are nice looking
They
joints.
got filters, little smoke nice.
Yeah. It's Dirty Girl, by the way, a 20% THC strain. Nice sativa. So I think it's a cross of Girl Scout cookies and Trainwreck, if I remember correctly.
Girl Scout cookies crossed with Trainwreck. Very nice.
Yeah.
What's some of the more popular strains in Oregon?
I can tell you what I like. I like more sativas. I like the hazes that we have up here. Everything, Pacific Northwesty is kind of buzzy because it rains all the time, we need something to keep us up. When I travel down to California, go to more Southern California, it's all about the OG Kushes. I love that stuff. And Girl Scout cookies is still very popular. So I think those would be the hot ones right now.
All right. So those are some of the strains that people might be finding out there then.
Yeah. Anymore, genetics now have kind of traversed the country so much anymore that what's being grown is more people's regional taste for what they like, more so than what's available to be able to be grown there.
Agreed. Speaking of growing, tonight there's also somewhat of a seed away some cannabis seeds, help people out.
Yeah, what's happening with that is there's one of our local medical marijuana gardens. They're called Stony Girl Gardens at 9 a.m. tomorrow at their Clackamas location. It's a suburb that's south of us here in Portland. They'll be doing a 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. seed giveaway.
Nice.
Yeah, and we may have some seeds tonight at the Burnside Bridge event. By the way, that's hashtag Burnside Burn for the event.
It burns.
Yeah, so we might have some seeds for people there too.
But tomorrow, a good chance to get seeds because you can start your home, get your seeds, germinate them, get your 4 plants growing. As long as it's hidden from view, correct?
Right. The growing has to take place out of public view. You got a backyard with a high fence, you should be fine. Although, a lot of people up here in northern Oregon would rather grow inside. There's so much rain, you have problem with mildew and molds and such. Plus, in an urban setting, more likely you're going to have neighborhood kids, teenage punks jumping the fence and, ripping you like has happened to me a couple times. So I know a lot of people are growing indoors out here. Southern Oregon, on the other hand, that's more the north end of your Emerald Triangle area. And the outdoor growers there are legendary for getting, 15, 20 pounds off a plant. So they'll be doing a lot more outdoor growing there.
Nice. So there you have it. Some inside dope on Oregon growing. Now, I saw the news. Is it the newspaper, the Oregonian? Is that the local newspaper?
Yep, the Oregonian.
They gone to pot too, like the Denver Post yet?
They don't have a separate byline for it yet, as like a separate masthead in their own website, like the Cannabist is in Colorado. But they do have a beat reporter. Her name's Noelle Crombie, who's been reporting on marijuana issues, and I wouldn't be surprised for them to do that. and have a dedicated marijuana section. I wouldn't be surprised to see that at all.
Is there enough? Do you think is there enough of an industry to support the advertising behind all that?
I think there will be, in part because we don't have any sort of tied house or vertical integration rules with our licensing, and we have 4 different types of licenses. Unlike any other state, we have producer, processor, and retailer, but we also have a wholesaler license. So that opens up a lot more opportunities. The licenses only cost $250 to apply for, $1,000 a year, although that might